Besigye frustrated talks?
Yes.
No, that's not true.
Besigye, at every twist and turn, made it so difficult because he was not willing to yield. Can I first finish?
Yes.
Besigye was not willing to concede anything. And I tried to explain this when I met Besigye with his wife, and I think he had called people at his home one time when things leaked to the media. I told him that in any negotiation, you are likely to give concessions and make compromises. There must be something so dear you give up for you to get another thing dear that dear to you. You are not willing to give anything. And then he said, Museveni is not honest. I said, you see, we can never know the outcome of a process until we have done. So it's better for us to try and fail than fail to try. Let us go into the negotiations. In any case, Museveni had put himself at a strategic disadvantage. NRM was one of the parties to the dialogue, but not the owner party. And the numbers favored Besigye's group.
Should the same scenario play out again?
But this is what I'm coming to.
Quell the tensions.
Because personally, I have realized that Bobby Wine has decided to walk Besigye's footpath. He's following the same script. And that is why he has reached a dead end. And I think that Bobby Wine's political obituary needs to be written now. This country needs his political obituary. He's dead politically. I don't think he can re-emerge. Because he has failed to position himself, you know, an obituary. Yes, when somebody dies, you write. This is not a biological obituary of his physical death. It's a political obituary. It needs to be written. This country needs a politician of the caliber of Raila or the caliber of Mandela, who will have the courage of convictions to say the stability of this country depends on us talking, however much we may disagree, and is willing to spend his political capital. Bobby Wine had a lot of political capital, now he has lost it. Besigye, at the time when he had political capital, he failed to use it to enter a dialogue with Museveni. Museveni is not a person you can wish away. He's an important instrument in the orchestra of stability of this country and even the region. Anyway.
As we take a break, very fast in a minute, did Besigye frustrate talks? And is the country where it is because of that missed opportunity?
You see, Mwenda addresses only Besigye. I said earlier, there were many people who were proposing a dialogue. You need to visit the Ogora group, the Elders Forum, the Interreligious Council, the Situation Room. As a result of those discussions and the Mwenda group, we set up a committee, and Besigye was not a member of that committee. I was a member of the committee.
Which group was Mwenda representing?
He's here, so do I speak for Mwenda?
No, you are part of the process, so you know.
Patriotic citizens
so
of Uganda, yes.
We set up.
You can imagine the intransigency in that committee.
Museveni set up a committee headed by Rugunda, it had Rukutana, and it had others. It was actually my proposal. I said, you see, we don't need a physical meeting between us and Museveni. What we need is to outline the issues and then have these people who were the brokers who were moving between us. Eventually, those issues kept exchanging them until when we came up with a document. I remember one time there was even a Swedish minister who came here. They were very excited about a dialogue in Uganda. But I said Museveni was buying time. Museveni thought that, and that's why he was asking Besigye to renounce violence. He thought that we were going to have protests in Kampala and they are going to affect the economy. You see, Museveni has been very steady on the economy. While he will do everything else, he wants the economy, he wants the stability of the economy. So his dialogue was not a dialogue about issues affecting people he's competing with, and he was more interested in creating an environment in which the economy will thrive. So as soon as he was... it isn't. As soon as he realized that actually now there is stability, then he started, after demanding that I must meet Besigye, then he started not being around.
No,
and eventually,
that's not true.
Mwenda, I'm telling you, the document exists.
Yes, but Museveni said, look, the principal person in this dialogue is Besigye. Besigye and I need to meet. Besigye refused to meet Museveni. In fact, on the advice of Semujju and Wafulogutu. Now, Where the whole thing failed there, what I cannot understand is why does Besigye refuse to meet Museveni? I find it strange.
See,
a president wants to see you.
And I sympathize with my brother in Sibami. His party, the Secretary General and the President, were yesterday in a meeting with Museveni in Call. Eventually, they came and made public statements. In all the meetings Museveni has had with the opposition, the first thing, how do I increase your money? It is now I can make it 40. They should even give you areas. That's the language Museveni understands.
Let's take a very short break, and finally, when we return, we'll be running the final lap. Is it time for all the protagonists in the political games to sit down and talk? We'll be back.
NBS Frontline.
You used to tell me that I don't make you happy. All that time you would be complaining. I'll call you every day. Yeah, yo, baby, don't go.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks. Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000, or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily, or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Want to stream your favorite content without limits on Afro Mobile? Here's how to get started with the MTN Afro Mobile bundles. Open the Afro Mobile app on your phone. If you don't have it yet, download it from the Play Store or App Store. Tap your profile and scroll to purchase. Choose the bundle that works for you for 4K weekly or 10K monthly. Confirm your selection and complete payment directly through the app using your Momo Pay. Receive your confirmation and streaminga non-stop. That's it. No codes, no hassle. Just tap, subscribe, and start streaming. Streaminga non-stop, only with Afro Mobile and MTN.
What happened in your first year, second semester should not happen again.
Yes, Lord.
You get what I'm saying? That's second semester.
Yes.
But another thing I'm seeing, there's like a retake.
Yes. In fact,
Business something.
Yeah.
Business.
Yes.
Hallelujah. I want to release an anointing upon you.
Amen.
Watch the power of prophecy with Prophet Elvis Mbonye this Saturday, 6:30 p.m. on NBS TV, Uganda.
Across Uganda, the parish development model is paving the way for prosperity, helping families transform their lives through strategic farming practices, like the 4-acre model.
In our Chibaro of 1996, we said first acre, put coffee. Second acre, fruits. The third acre, you put pasture for dairy cows. The fourth acre, for food, cassava. The good thing is that now cassava is also becoming a very good cash product, but at least for food. Then, mind you, the backyard. You put poultry for eggs, you put piggery.
I'm in a 1-acre plot of land. In this 1 acre, Your Excellency, I practice this banana plantation. I also practice coffee. I also have dairy, Your Excellency. Every month, Your Excellency, I get 500,000 from these bunches.
The 7 activities we recommended, they have a big global demand.
We have 10,000 Nile tilapia fish and 10,000 African catfish. And when we sell our 10,000 tilapia, we get in one harvest 20 million shillings.
Fruits, especially capuchon, which is cold, can do very high value crops like apples. And then finally, those who are near the wetlands, like the ones in Bukit who are wasting the wetlands, they should do fish farming, not in the center of the swamp, but at the edge of the swamp.
From coffee farms to fish ponds, the 4-acre model is empowering Ugandans to transform their lives. The parish development model is your pathway to wealth creation. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance.
NBS Frontline.
Welcome back. It's still the Frontline. My final question to all the candidates, rather to all the guests in the studio is, what is the way forward for the country? And I'll start with you, Honorable Lydia.
The way forward for the country is that the new government should be formed and will be formed in May, actually. Isn't it May? When is Mzee swearing in? 12th of May. The new government will be formed. If there are any issues like you heard about reforms, you start early. But this election was run without any reforms, you see. So those who have lost elections and want to organize dialogue, the agenda of dialogue, we want to know what is it, to get positions in government, to improve reforms. Because look at the attrition in parliament. The elections happened. If changes have happened, when people lost for one elections, you have many new faces. There are some who are old who have come back. So it will be difficult for you to begin saying when there are changes.
So to you,
the attrition level, the attrition level, I think is it still 50 or whatever percent?
It rose to 60.
The only change which gives people headache is the change at the presidential level. That's what I see. So they want to negotiate what power there.
How about internally?
But parliamentary, the changes are real.
How about internally within the NRM? Do you think there is any?
NRM is a mass party. Let me tell you, you said in Imbale, it is NRM that was fighting NRM. We are used to that. We will sort ourselves. It's a mass party. Somebody can join the party today, becomes your boss, you fight. The other one is old, we continue. It's a mass party. The bus, the doors of the bus of the NRM have long been open. So if you understand that, then you'll be able to survive and live in NRM. I'm a founding member of the party, 2005. I've just won an election after how many terms? So I don't come here to lament because I understand where our party comes from. As a mass party, even you can go Anjala tomorrow, if you want, you can go with the or you join the NRM party. You might even become our boss.
It's going to be my mission to bring him into the NRM.
So it's not about our internal contradictions might even be our strength. Have you heard?
Yes.
Our perceived internal contradictions could even be the strength of the party. Yeah.
What's the way forward for the country in the midst of everything?
I'm going to make it my mission to recruit you into the NRM.
I think that's futile from the onset.
It does not prevent me from
So
trying.
that you talk about broken pieces.
In 2001,
you failed before
trying. In 2001, when Thomas Tayebwa was in the reform agenda, he was the head of youth there at Koresti House. I met him, he was still a young man. I'm saying this because he's a friend. I tried to convince him, he said no. In 2016, he came by himself. He's now a big man.
Can I put a God forbid disclaimer?
That's how NRM works. NRM has won this election massively, regardless of whether you want to say it is a part of the state or not. For the first time, NRM has won all regions. Is the dominant force in all regions, at parliament, at presidential. We think majority of Ugandans acknowledge that this win is genuine. And they are willing to give NRM, extend to the NRM leadership, another chance to continue the good work. Where there has been mistakes, there have been mistakes, where there have been weaknesses, we pledge to strengthen, to rectify. I see in President Museveni, in the last election when he was routed in Buganda and Busoga, we had a meeting of leaders of NRM. And many leaders from Buganda and Busoga felt that their people had not acknowledged their service. They actually urged, they told the president not to appoint, not to give key positions to leaders in Uganda, because they were focusing more in cabinet. What did the president do? He ignored them, appointed 13 ministers from Buganda. Buganda has the largest number of ministers, even in this government.
Ex-officials.
Even when Museveni got that 32%.
But none in the high echelons of the hierarchy of government.
What do you mean?
Energy, defense.
No.
What do you mean?
President, vice president, prime minister.
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
Energy,
the people who
defense.
preside over budgets of departments, of ministries, not the vice president, not the prime minister, the ministers. And you can see the ministries they have. But for me, that's I'm just raising it, what happened in that meeting. And he followed that up by appointing a number of opposition people into government, including from outside Buganda, even when they had either not run or lost elections. You know that the Honorable Mao lost elections twice as the president. I don't think Mao still had gravitas in the whole of Acholi. And I think that's why this time he lowered his sight to a parliamentary constituency where he could easily win. And even there, in this election, Odumo had to tell people when he was launching, he said, I wouldn't have come if the president had not told me. I think he wanted to harness the goodwill Yoweri Museveni now enjoys in Gulu and in Acholi. I think so. Now, I foresee, knowing the president, he will leave many of us, and for me, it would be okay if he left me out and he brought these people, these people, no organized. Yes. And when I have an opportunity, I will give them that brief that, sir, if we want to deepen our democracy, inclusivity, bring some of these people.
Nsibambi.
Yes, why not?
Nsibambi, me, I would urge him, leave a phone out. I would be okay with being a backbencher, and I talk there. Give some of these people. And also, if we want to actually break completely, I think that could be one of the stratagem. Do you know what it would mean? So, I know for a fact there's going to be formed a government, regardless of people who are wailing. These people who are wailing now, these new people, Chagulanyi, is not wailing more than Besigye. Besigye actually shouted. Besigye cried very loud, extended cry. So,
I think you sound arrogant in
this silent wailing while you are in hiding won't stop anything. I have actually written, I don't know how Andrew Mwenda, I think he has picked, he must have read my piece. I've written an article for this weekend, for the Sunday, for the Vision, where I say, Mr. Chagulanyi, from what has taken place, his internal disagreement, he's chasing in a crude way of the Mpugas. The result he has received in Buganda, in the country, I said in that article, he should begin to write his political obituary. And I can tell you, as somebody a little experienced in the politics of Uganda, I don't see him rising.
Thank you. Yes. Honorable Nsibambi, what do you see? The 5 years are now in Museveni's bag. What is the way forward?
Yeah, Andrew, sorry, Simon, I should really maybe mention this. As a young lawyer, was one of the 52 lawyers representing Gaddafi in the Rokibi scandal. When we were in that meeting, we had Haji Habib and the late Sheikh Kamoga, the only 3 Ugandans. And when Gaddafi was talking, and the aides, they were talking about a mass party, a very big, powerful party that will never go. So when Lydia was talking about mass party, I got to remember that meeting. So when I got out, Gaddafi would just whisper, and the translator, I say, what is going on? Now this mass party, as we were leaving, for the first time, were given boxes of dollars. I came to the airport, they said, where are you getting this money? The sheikh called, not Kampala, whatever, security officers. They called Libya. We went through Malta. Then immediately they said those people should leave. Were given 2 patrol cars, police to our homes. I said, where do you keep this money? I started counting towards. Then I put it to a bank. Then the bank said, no, not financial intelligence agency, but Bank of Uganda said, where did you get this kind of money? They called Libya. The bank cleared. I had to buy 3 properties in Agulu. It was really massive. I said, now this is so massive. But when Gaddafi was going, for the first time, he was saying, these cockroaches, and he was shouting. I said, hey, can this man even talk? Yeah, okay. Incidentally, he died in a tunnel where there are cockroaches and rats. Say this. So when you are talking about this, it's really kiddish and unpatriotic. We really have to go out and tell these military dictators and powerful men, the CDFs, that Uganda belongs to all of us. I saw this, coming with $1 million in a box at that age. So, Simon, what I want to tell Ugandans, we had to get out of our beds and bend a little backwards for the sake of security, not about employment or whatever. And most of these people are not actually the disgruntled legislators who failed. They are actually stakeholders. We even have about 7 members of parliament on this panel. We don't have religious leaders on board, but we are engaging the religious leaders, and actually we want to engage government. It is in order to engage President Museveni.
They find you opportunistic. Why didn't you raise these things when you're still in parliament?
It's better late than never. You see, when you are close to parliament, you believe you can change things through committees. But you're so vulnerable and don't have that kind of power. It's an acknowledgement of weakness, spiritually and militarily, even economically. There's no single political party here which has 500 million on account. But even to mobilize and create.
You heard what Semujju said, that whenever you meet Museveni, the first thing he talks about is your welfare.
No, as individuals or as parties? Simon, because as FDC, I can assure you.
Honorable Yusuf here said that in Uganda, the minimum they used
is 500 million.
Yet these are the same people.
Those are individual resources.
Yeah, I said these are the same people who have been saying Museveni are
for me, I'm not part of that. Because I worked hard from childhood. I've been having 4 permanent jobs. But other people don't have that kind of access. 2, we are talking of party structures. A party is different. People expect the party to give them instead of contributing to the party. So that's why I'm saying these institutions are national. The government should come and fund them. That is okay.
Sirambi, FDC already belongs to the IPOD.
What kind of money are they getting?
Why don't you voice your issues through your political party instead of going to meet President Museveni?
No. We are talking about stakeholders.
This should be an IPOD game.
Party is inclusive, by the way, at that level. But the other individuals who are actually non-partisan, but they are interested in Uganda.
But there is FDC. There is an IPOD arrangement. Do you want to go parallel to the IPOD arrangement?
Why not? Because what is at stake is beyond political parties.
What is wrong with IPOD? Why would
it's not wrong. It has its own agenda, but then we have a critical issue at hand. We have the militarization of politics, commercialization of politics. We have repression by government and persecution of innocent activists. So, Simon, I wanted to... to end on a small note. It's not even a request, but we are dealing with a dictatorship. We're swimming against the tide and must be acknowledged. Failure to acknowledge that, you'll be a political fool. You will be a political fool. I agree with Andrew here. People criticize Raila Odinga, but his legacy of talking to a dictatorship will be remembered all along.
Thank you. Andrew, what's the way forward for the country in the next 5 years? With the talk of the transition now hovering all over the place.
You want me to propose what I think the country should do? Two things. I will give advice, one advice to Museveni, one to Bobby Wine. Let me begin with Bobby Wine. Bobby Wine come out of hiding. I think organize your NUP and request for a dialogue with President Yoweri Museveni. I'm willing to facilitate that engagement. But it's absolutely important.
Why didn't you start with the one of Museveni? Facilitate that one first.
No. But it's not just Bobby Wine alone. We can get Nsibambi, we can get all of you guys to have. Okay, because you're a coward. But so we want the Bobby Wine. You can rise to the occasion, the way Mandela did, and the way he talked to the people who had jailed for 27 years, and all of them they are invited. That's one. Bobby Wine is the one who's in hiding. Nsibambi is a reasonable man, even though he speaks contradicting himself for you on this show. I've talked to him before. He's a very reasonable person, and I think a person government can engage. But Bobby Wine, come out of hiding, call off your protests, talk to your members, have the confidence to tell them that going forward the country needs dialogue, not protests. That's one. President Yoweri Museveni has grown old, and he's tired both intellectually or ideologically, and is exhausted ideologically and physically. So he needs energy. My advice to the president is Muhoozi should be appointed. Largely, I would have said Vice President, Prime Minister, head of government business, so that he can help him run government. I will tell you the capabilities of Muhoozi. So, Uganda government, each time they try to contract.
Sorry? You want Muhoozi for Prime Minister?
For Prime Minister, yes, and head of government business. And I'm going to explain to you why it's absolutely necessary to do it. You see, Ofono Pondo or Semujju may have better competencies than Muhoozi in management terms. They put you there, so many people will go tell the president wrong stories, undermine you, and you'll never get to do your job. If Muhoozi is there, Muhoozi is a very forceful person. He will be able to push government projects through. Government's plan is to grow this economy tenfold in the next 15 years. We need for you to build Uganda's economy, to expand it from 64 billion now to 650 billion in 10 years, you will need huge investments in infrastructure, roads, railways, ports. Then you will need investments in energy dams to produce energy. We are producing 2,000 megawatts. We need to produce about 30,000.
So it requires Muhoozi. What's the magic in Muhoozi?
Yes, that's what I'm going to tell you. Why are you so impatient? So,
because the show is about to end.
Yes, in 2015, I chaired the investor conference on the Jinja-Kampala Expressway. Construction was supposed to begin in 2018, be finished in 2022. Where in 2026, they have not yet even hired a company. They are busy in wrangling. We are supposed to host the Africa Cup of Nations next year. We are supposed to build stadia here, or stadiums. I don't know whether the program must be stadia. But you know, Uganda government takes 500 years to approve these things. But we went with Moses to Rwanda. He found a great arena, a great stadium at Amahoro. Asked President Kagame who did it. This is a company called Sumo. We came back here. He brought Sumo here. And now, in less than a year, we have a stadium, in world-class stadium in Hoima. So if you have Muhoozi in charge of getting government to function, you know that there is somebody who cannot be undermined at State House by anybody, but who is results-oriented and will get all of these government projects.
Mwenda, are you serious?
100%. You can moralize, you can speculate, you can theorize and idealize. The practical thing is that you have a person who cannot be easily undermined, who cannot be bad-mouthed at State House, but who can get government things to work. I have told you about the stadium. Have you visited the stadium? I saw you on NBS showcase that stadium. Have you seen what he has done in the Ministry of Defense? Things that had failed for 30 years are now being cleared in that place. So what we need is not moralism, is not idealism. What we need is pragmatism.
Honorable Semujju, on that very note, as we wind up, does Mwenda give you a hint of what lies ahead?
I'd already been told that Museveni is considering appointing his son vice president.
Which would be a very good thing.
That's why I said at the beginning of the show that this might be Museveni's last term and Muhoozi's first term. I meant it. It was not just a drama, as Opondo said. But Mwenda, I am shocked by Andrew.
Why?
Because Andrew,
I thought you knew him well.
Andrew, who was writing against the monarchy, now says it's the best thing for Uganda.
No, he has now come to... He's no longer living in a realism.
That brings us to a close. Thank you very much, Honorable Lydia Wanyoto. Many thanks, Honorable Ofono Ponda. I just can't wait to see you swear again.
The NRM by the end of this term.
I thought that was a big joke.
I will be there.
That should remain a joke.
Simon,
Honorable Nsibambi, pleasure having you. Andrew, thank you for joining us, and Honorable Semujju. Good night to all of you.